거기서 비명 소리가 들렸어요.
Gotta understand the culture.
해야지. 나한테 뭔 짓을 해도 상관없어. 원하는 거 다 이루면서 살 거야.
So in this video, I will share with you 5 tips to learn Korean by yourself without going to a language school. But for whatever reasons, if you're like me, broke, but you still want to learn Korean language, so you just gotta make full use of your resources. I've been always fascinated by language. And there was once I've been to Japan. Where is Japan? It's Malaysia. Japan is somewhere in the globe. So yeah, I've been to Japan once. And I remember going to a convenience store. I think it's Family Mart. I was in this convenience store buying an ice cream. It was winter. It's good to eat ice cream during winter. So I was at the cashier and this Japanese guy asked me something in Japanese, and I don't understand Japanese. I don't know what he's saying, but for some reasons there's this spark in my mind which just sparks in my mind, and surprisingly I understood, like, I know what he meant. And in that exact moment I know that language is my thing. I think Korean language really resonates with me more. So the first tip I have for you to learn Korean language is to understand the culture. So there's this difference between knowing and understanding, because knowing is just, I know that John likes sausages, but understanding is you understand why he likes sausages. Maybe it's because it contains MSG, which makes it so much more flavorful. You know, you gotta understand what's behind. It's the same for Korean language. You gotta understand the culture. Once you understand the Korean culture, I think it's easier for you to accept certain Korean language rules that you have to follow. For me, I find that the Korean culture is very respectful of seniors and superiors. They call them by honorifics. 사장님, 부회장님, 언니, 오빠. All these are honorifics. So this is their culture, and there are 3 formalities of this Korean language. It's a formal one, the casual one, and the informal one. A formal one whereby you speak to your parents, your superiors, which normally ends with 입니다. 이거 좋아합니다. So they have this 반말 그리고 존댓말. 반말 is normally used for informal, and 존댓말 is for formal. So if you understand the culture, this would be so much easier for you to accept. And the second tip I have for you is to learn the most common 1,000 words of the Korean language. Well, this technique also applies to all other languages because we don't normally use all the words in the dictionary. You can just Google the 1,000 most common word Korean, and Google will most probably show you this too. I found out the one from Memrise is better because it has more detailed explanation as compared to the second link, which just lists all those words out and translate them into a single English word. There isn't much explanation. And if you know Mandarin or any Chinese dialects, it would be even better because Memrise provides Chinese translation of the Korean word, which when you read it out, it definitely sounds very similar to Chinese or any dialects. So with this, you can better understand and learn it. For example, 정부 and 政府, 政府. It's just too similar. Like Korean is very similar to Chinese. I think that knowing the most common 1,000 words is good enough if you're a beginner that just want to start out, and this would be a very good base for you. So this point is very important because it relates to other points as well. So it's very important for you to know the 1,000 most common words before proceeding to learn more words and more vocabularies. And the third tip, I believe, like this, is to watch K-drama, reality TV, or news. Korean news. 안녕. So K-dramas, I have this recommendation if you want. It's called Itaewon Class, which literally means Itaewon Class.
장사 시작해볼까? 안 될 거라고 미리 정해놓고 그래서 뭘 하겠어요? 해보고 판단해야지. 나한테 뭔 짓을 해도 상관없어. 원하는 거 다 이루면서 살 거야.
조이성, IQ 162의 천재소녀. 그리고 이선은 소시오패스다.
야,
이 세상 모든 것의 근본, 약육강식, 장가를 이을 생각이 없어. 이놈 목표가 내 모가지렸다.
쉬울 거라고 생각 안 했어. 어렵게 하면 되지. 너희들이 있잖아.
우리 형님이 된다고 하면 되는 거예요.
그럼 입고 갈까요?
그저 그런 사람이 아닌 대단한 남자로 만들 거야, 내가.
고집, 객기 제대로 부려줄게.
이제 이태원 우리가 씹어먹는 겁니다.
I think it's a very good story, very good drama, which talks about a high school dropout facing all kinds of difficulties, him overcoming all these challenges to become a huge corporation. And reality TV is also very interesting because there's this program that I like to watch. It's called The Return of Superman. Superman이 들어왔다.
음식 저기다. 입에가 예쁘네.
무슨 비명 소리가 들렸어요.
재밌을걸?
아 형아 소리인지 모르고
뭐야? 뭐야?
아 이게 다시 들어보니까.
And the fourth tip is to speak more. It doesn't matter if you don't have Korean friends, but if you have Korean friends, it's definitely a very good opportunity for you to speak with a native, especially if they know English and you can communicate with them. You can ask them certain words like how to pronounce it, how to say it. You get instant feedback from your friends, and that is amazing. But you don't necessarily have Korean friends. So what I did is I went to a Korean restaurant. I ate at this Korean restaurant and this Korean lady boss came out and I kind of talked to her for like a few seconds. I was just like, 안녕하세요. 이건 맛있어요. And she was like, 감사합니다. I didn't dare to continue the conversation because I know that if I continue the conversation, even though if she might understand me, but when she replies me, I wouldn't be able to understand what she says. But that definitely is a very good experience, and I do encourage you to just put yourself out there and talk to a Korean, even if he or she does not understand English, that you share no common language, but that's okay, just give it a try. They know that you are not a native speaker, and if you made some mistakes, they will most probably forgive you. So just try it out. And the fifth point is to read out every single Korean word that you see, whether it's on a menu or on the internet. On YouTube, you see Korean videos with Korean words. When you read out every single word, you might be able to understand some hint about that video. So it's good to read out every single word. And those are 5 tips which I personally use and I find it useful that I want to share with you, and hopefully we can learn Korean better. So I hope that you like this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. 감사합니다. 그럼 안녕. See you in the next video.